but it hasn't seen an Open Cup game in 83 years. That ends tonight, and what an occasion to end that long drought. Rhode Island playing MLS opposition for the first time in the club's year-plus history. After they opened Centerville Bank Stadium last week, they welcomed the mighty New England Revolution for their second ever match at their new home. And of course, New England, with all of their rich history, particularly, we mentioned this earlier, this is the first game Rhode Island's ever played against MLS opposition. Again, they got knocked out last year by Charlotte Independence. That was a crazy game on penalties. But they've gone through this year. They try to find Dequa striding in to the center of the penalty area. Alex Bono making his first start of the season for the Revs in all comps. Gets there first, and a chance for New England to move it up the other end. Lanconi, but he is stopped in his tracks.
Well, Dequa knows a thing or two about beating New England in the U.S. Open Cup. And so when you look at this Rhode Island side, Dequa had a phenomenal year last season. He's someone that has been in and out, got to get back to form. That was a great run.
Bizarra playing it across. Fuson was the closest one to it.
Well, you look at this really strong step through. That's what's happened to him.
Awkward ricochet for Rhode Island here. It falls for Luca Langoni. Also hopes to make a bit of a mark here tonight, but as soon as I say that, he plays an errant pass. It goes back to Cano Smith's men, who look to quickly move it down this near side. Good step by Farrell, only as far as Hope Gunn. Time and space here for Maxi Rodriguez. Now Noah Fuson. Trying to gallop his way past a couple of challenges. The Revs have it covered, and Chunkalai plays it out to the far side. Chunkalai was dispossessed by Maxi Rodriguez, so the ball came off the referee. That maybe could have led to a stoppage. Revs continue to keep possession.
Yeah, Maxi Rodriguez is unhappy, but he's just got to pay attention to the situation at hand. None of the protesting he's doing is going to make any bit of difference at this juncture.
And of course, the winner goes to the round of 16, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and will host in the next round as well. As New England are on the front foot here, it is Chunkalai, just wide. Jackson Lee at full stretch for Rhode Island. It's a goal kick.
New England thought that they could use their athleticism, their superior athleticism, to make runs, get behind the defense, and that's exactly what took place there. Up the right wing, it's played back into a dangerous area, and that's a good attempt from distance by Chunkalai.
Before that injury, Tomas Chunkalai was a huge part of what the Revs were doing last couple of seasons in multiple competitions. As the offside flag goes up here, Champions Cup, MLS, and others, he has been a big factor, which is why he was our player to watch.
He is in a situation where he's going to have to, especially as a DP on this New England side, he's got to continue to work back from that knee injury, and Caleb Porter wants to give him all the opportunities he can to get back into shape, to get back into form, because it's not just the physical component of it, it's the mental part of the game as well that you've been away from for so long. You got to get back in tune with yourself, and a U.S. Open Cup run would do him wonders, I think.
Dequa's in here for Rhode Island, and he also.
Vintage Dequa, look at this run. Fuson plays it perfectly. It is weighted. Once this Rhode Island side gets healthy, and that was shades of fall of last season, that right there is where the danger comes.
One of the key things that Cano Smith talked to us about this week was, yes, no win against San Antonio, but he said, I saw my team a lot in that performance. New England up the other end, forced the save from Jackson Lee.
Now in free flowing, right up the middle channel, and look at Arudi. He has an eye for goal. He puts it on target, and Rhode Island on their back heel just a tad in that sequence. That's also a very good sign. It's good organization. You don't have a shot put on target, but if you look at New England, you ran the risk of Rhode Island possibly getting out on the counter, and you turned it into a couple of opportunities for yourself. I've been impressed early on with as much attention as we paid to the struggles in the attack for both sides. Both these sides have been able to find their lanes, they've been able to hit the channels, and they've been able to ask some questions.
Early ball down this far side. Another chance for New England trying to make something happen with Luis Diaz, but again, it's snuffed out by that Rhode Island defense. And an early ball here for Jose Quizera. He's able to just about take it with him. Options either side. Noah Fuson into the seats.
As he was dribbling away from goal. That is a sensational ball through the middle to Quizera, and he makes the right decision to dish to Fuson. The physio is going to need to come out and check on him. Diaz has made 6 appearances for New England Revolution in MLS play. Clean sweep on this Wednesday.
Here is Shapiro Thompson marauding forward here for Rhode Island, and lets the shot go! Flashes it just wide of Bono's goal.
To see in knockout matches, aggressiveness, be ambitious of Alex Bono's goal. That was a really, really good run and attempt on that shot from Shapiro Thompson.
Ooh, Maxi Rodriguez always has his wand at the ready. Tried to volley that. It was blocked away. Quizera picks up the pieces and finds Fuson. And then it slid away before it could get to Clay Holstead, but Rhode Island regained possession through Rio Hope Gunn.
New England Revolution not exactly surprised at what Rhode Island's trying to do here, which is rack up the possession percentage, try and pick the defense apart, because then they can try and, off of turnovers, hit on the counter, which is what Caleb Porter said specifically he thought the game plan was going to be. So if you're Rhode Island, this possession is great, questions are great, but you need to be careful.
Here comes Maxi Rodriguez, who's dragged down. And Kalen Radisov on the scene hands out a yellow card for Oyuoth.
And I'm not sure that Oyuoth needed to go that route. He was making up ground. If he would have just stayed on his hip within 7 yards of what he delivered, and then as New England wants to get out on the run, he has that heavy touch. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen with 4 appearances since coming back from injury. That's why Chonkalai needs reps like this in the U.S. Open Cup. It is why this is a very, very, very big moment for him, and now we have a Rhode Island player down.
Yeah, Luca Langoni, did he leave his arm out there? Maxi Rodriguez was holding his eye as the play continued.
Well, I think that what you brought up is what Quizera is trying to explain to the referees. There was an errant limb that made contact, and the referee says play on.
Of course, the first Open Cup game to be played in Pawtucket, Rhode Island since 1942. And of course, the first ever final of, at the time, the National Challenge Cup, now Open Cup, was played in Pawtucket as Rhode Island have a chance here. New England score off the ricochet. It is the aforementioned Tomas Chonkalai who scores the first ever goal at Centerville Bank Stadium. Rhode Island had a chance to clear it. The Revs take full advantage, and the side from Major League Soccer land the first blow in this round of 32 Open Cup tie.
The opposing team turns it over. They get sloppy at the edge of the area, unable to clear the ball out of trouble, and then Chonkalai with a left foot. That was an assured delivery. He was able to float, unleash the power, and he goes through the legs of the keeper, Jackson Lee, and it's 1-0.
We talked about it. Caleb Porter changed pretty much half his team on the side that won at Toronto last time out, but that defensive momentum and acumen is still there as the offside flag goes up against the Revs on this near side. And can Rhode Island break that down? Is going to become more and more of a question as the night progresses. Nodarse. Out to the far side, Sanchez. For Holstead. Now Rio Hope Gund. And Quizera right into Sands, who was ready for him, and wins a free kick as Quizera tried to recover after a miscued touch.
Quizera is so confident in his 1v1 abilities, and there Sands did well defensively to cut that off and draw the foul. I like the response from Rhode Island after the goal. They are at least showing a sense of urgency. There is not a shell-shocked nature about them. They are trying to push. They've been living in the attacking third. That is a good response. You just haven't been able to put anything on target in that sequence.
Yaruti, lovely touch into space. A lot of men around him as it's a first-time hit by Luca Langoni right at Jackson Lee in the end, although it was well struck. Holstead for Maxi Rodriguez. And Rodriguez looking for a foul there, doesn't get it. But it's good follow-up by Rhode Island to win the ball right back. Shapiro Thompson for Quizera. Holstead. Into 4 added minutes at the end of the half here in Pawtucket. First time ball into the middle here. Oh, it was just over the head of Dequa. Rhode Island still have it. Quizera. Back for Rio Hope Gund. That might have been Rhode Island's closest chance. Holstead forced to retreat to the halfway line in Grant Stoneman.
I think Dequa might have had his eyes a bit distracted by Maxi Rodriguez.
Fusson's ball in here past everybody, but Quizera catches up to it. Hope Gund. Back for Quizera. Hope Gund forced to backtrack. In the end, it was behind him. And then Quizera settles for a throw-in. Still about 3 minutes for Rhode Island to try to find a response before the break. Nodarse. Fusson on the turn. Nodarse striding forward. Plays it across, and Bono gets a big touch to it.
Hard to take, in my opinion. But look at this opportunity. Look at Nodarse. He puts it on target.
Again, Rhode Island within a whisker.
Well, man, they are really, really urgent now. And that's a great response. Got to be careful here.
New England bring it back up the other end. Holstead penalized. Foul, free kick. Looks like it's going to be a yellow card as well for holding back Luis Diaz. It was one of the things that Caleb Porter talked to us about. He said there's going to be times where we want Rhode Island to have the ball. And part of that, he says, listen, we think we're good enough defensively to stop them. We think we can hold them off. And so far, they have certainly done that through the first half of play in this round of 32 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup tie. Adjustment, looks like that's Eric Klein, one of the MLS Next Pro products. And Luca Langoni makes way. So that's the first change of the night. And the second half here in Pawtucket at Centerville Bank Stadium is off and running. The Revs are ahead. Still a big 45 minutes to go to sort out who gets their name in the hat for the round of 16. New England going from left to right. Does have a 2-0 lead. Here comes Rhode Island with Maxi Rodriguez. Jojea Quizera has a hit. It's blocked, and it's a Rhode Island throw.
So a potential of Craig Berhalter and the man he handed the reins to in Columbus, Caleb Porter. An early storyline for that potential matchup.
Long way to go, but I like where your head's at. Amos Shapiro Thompson and Rhode Island would love to change that narrative here. And Noah Fusson Bends it over the top and out. Rhode Island desperate to get back on level terms.
That's fine. Yes, you're about 20 yards out, but New England out on the counter, which is the only way they're probably going to ding you for a second here in this second half. Keep going that route. You're going to control possession in the second half. That's how New England wants to play it, so you might as well take chances like that.
Well, the Revs trying to win the ball back high up the field. It doesn't work out this time, and on the far side, Noah Fuson drives forward and finds Maxi Rodriguez! Rhode Island opened their account at Centerville Bank Stadium with a marvelous finish from Maxi Rodriguez. Rhode Island have equalized against the Revs in the Open Cup. It's one each.
Delivery. Look at Fuson. Look at the vision. Play it back to the top of the box, and that was an absolute blast. But man, all of it was Fuson. He is the true creative force for this Rhode Island side tonight in the attack.
Who lashes a ball across, but it's blocked out by Brandon By. Rhode Island are humming at the moment. They've got another corner.
This does not feel sustainable for New England. It just doesn't. Every minute, it seems like Rhode Island has a high chance coming out of the attack.
Shades of the second half at the weekend against San Antonio. It was one-way traffic. It's the Western Conference leaders in the USL Championship. Ball in by Maxi Rodriguez. Had it out only as far as Quizera. And Quizera is ambushed. Rhode Island lose out here. It's a chance for the Revs to break with Chonkalai in transition. It's Chonkalai bending it wide and out for a goal kick. That was a real chance. Ball in by Maxi Rodriguez. Had it out only as far as Quizera. And Quizera is ambushed. Rhode Island lose out here. It's a chance for the Revs to break with Chonkalai in transition. It's Chonkalai bending it wide and out for a goal kick. That was a real chance. This book here and make a line change, it looks like.
That's exactly what appears is about to happen.
Looks like Wyatt Omsberg was the first player, to come on for New England. For Luis Diaz. And then Oyerwath. Certainly saw some good glimpses from him. That's because Caleb Porter is going to make another change, it looks like here. It's like Max Urruti is going to come out. Actually, it's going to be a double change. Two players for New England going to be taken out here. So it's going to be Maxi Urruti and Tomas Chonkalai who are going to come out. And a couple of the Revs 2 mainstays who have gotten a call-up, have impressed Caleb Porter and the New England organization, are going to come on. Liam Butts, who's been the Revs 2 leading goal scorer with 5 in Next Pro this season, comes on. Gavork Diarbian, for a couple of seasons, has been turning heads in MLS Next Pro. He is on, trying to help rescue the tie here for the Revs on the road. And that is it, by the way. Caleb Porter is out of substitutions, at least in normal time. And from the get-go, Diarbian gets right onto it here, plays it for Sands down the far side. Back to Diarbian, who crosses it into the middle. Oh, it goes off the post. Rebound is in. It's Cristiano Oliveira on the follow-up. And have New England rescued their Open Cup tie here. They've taken the lead for a second time after a misreading of the cross by Jackson Lee.
Sometimes this glorious sport is just wildly unfair. Diarbian, it took a deflection, it appeared off of the cross, it hits the back post, and Oliveira's there to simply play it right in to the near side of the net. A fortuitous bounce.
Loses out to Holstead, back for Lee. And that is it, full time in Pawtucket. New England survives and advances into the round of 16 of the Open Cup for the first time since 2022.